Hi, today we're going to make some cheese scones. Okay, so this is really quite a simple recipe and very, very straightforward, and I'll sort of talk you through it. And it goes with the recipe card. So this is a big shout out again to Karen, who I know has been delivering stuff. So here we go. So first of all, we're going to use some self-raising flour. We're going to use 225 grams. I have a cat that's around my feet. You are not having any cheese scones. So what you want to do is you want to get your flour, 225 grams, and we're going to sieve it into a bowl. That's really important that you sieve it. Now if you have a little bit more than 225, that's fine. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit over. So we're going to gently sieve our flour into a bowl. I'm just doing it into a glass bowl so you can see different stages. Okay, now because we're making cheese scones, I'm going to use mature cheddar, but one thing which is really good to do is put a tiny little bit of cayenne pepper in your mix. Okay, so we've got our cheese scones here. We've got our flour come through. We're going to put a little bit of cayenne pepper into here as well, just a little splodge. And then we're going to use a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda or baking soda. So we've got a teaspoon in there. And then with a spoon, we're just going to mix all of those together so it's nice evenly mixed. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt. So just put a little bit of salt, a little pinch of salt, and just mix those up into the bowl. You just want to evenly mix up your cayenne pepper. Okay. It doesn't make them very spicy, it doesn't make them hot, it just adds to the cheesy flavour after you've done it. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to put 55 grams of butter into our mixture. Okay, if you're a little bit over, it doesn't matter. There is now a cat sitting at the table. So what you want to do is you want to scrunch the butter into it with your fingers. Now, you could use margarine if you haven't got any butter. If you've got sort of spreadable butter, you can use that. I'm just using butter from a packet here. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get your fingers into the flour, and you're going to just scrunch up the butter into the flour, and kind of as if you're kind of making sort of crumbling up some biscuits. You want to get your butter in there so there's no lumps of butter in your flour. Okay, so we're making a simple dough here. So we want to do that. It doesn't take very long, and then you don't want any big lumps of butter. So it's quite messy. So this is a really good recipe if you feel like getting messy, or if you've got kids. Really easy to make. So get your fingers in, squidge through the flour and the butter. Okay, brilliant. Okay, when that's all done, we're then going to add some cheese. Okay, so we've got 145 grams of cheese. I've grated the cheese, so we're going to put our cheddar in here. Okay, now you could use red Leicester. Cheese scones look quite nice. Red Leicester, you don't have to use cheddar. Ideally, you want to use strong cheese. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to get your cheese, mix it all in with your flour mix, okay, and the butter. Okay, so and what will happen is your cheese that's been grated will kind of go into the flour. I'm about to sneeze. Okay, so we add that in there. Mix it all up. So we've got our cheese, butter and flour. And if there's any little lumps of butter while you're doing this, just give them a little squidge. We want rid of all those lumps. Okay, now this is the bit which is the messy bit, which is quite good fun. So what we're going to do, we're going to add 100 mils of milk into there because we want to make a dough. Okay, now I'm quite messy, so if you're messy as well, this is totally up your street. Okay, first of all though, we're going to put a little bit of flour onto our side here. Now you can put it straight onto your worktop. I'm just going to put it on here just to show you. So we put a little bit of flour on here and get ready. Okay, so make a little hole in the middle. Make a little hole, and we're going to pour our milk in. I'm just going to put it all in. We're going to put in 100 mils of milk. Okay, now you do have to be really careful with your milk. We don't want to use too much milk. And then we're going to push the sides of our mixture in. And then with one hand, what we're going to start doing is we're going to roll it in to the liquid. Okay, now this is the bit which is all a bit gooey and your fingers get a bit sticky, but that's cooking, it's fine. Okay, so we mix it all in, because what we want to do is we want to get it all to stick together to make a nice dough. Okay, and then we're going to start to spread it around the sides of the bowl. Okay, now once you do this, once you master it, it's really quite straightforward. Okay, and we mix it all in, and actually you'll see pretty quickly it kind of comes together really nicely as a dough. Here we go. So pretty quickly it becomes a nice kind of ball. Okay, and then all you're going to do, if you've got some mixture on your fingers, which you will have, this is where you might need a bit of help, but I haven't got any help. So you put a bit of flour onto your hands. That's actually not going to work. So you put a bit of flour onto your hands. So I'm going to scoop a little bit up. And you rub it together with your hands, and all of that mixture will come off. It will make huge amounts of mess, but all the mixture will come off your fingers. And then all we're going to do is we're going to roll that round in the bowl. Okay. This is quite good for building up your muscles, especially if you've not been doing a huge amount of exercise in lockdown. Okay, so that's our mixture, that's our dough. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put it onto our work surface with a bit of flour on it, and we're just going to push it around a little bit and press it out. Okay, that's it. That's our mixture. There's our scones. I'm going to put this over there because I made a huge mess. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're then going to put the scones onto a baking tray, and then we're going to cook them for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, now you can use a cutter. If you've got a cutter, you can use a cutter. If you haven't got any cutters to make a shape, I'm going to use a glass. Okay, and all we want to do is we want to push out our mixture, probably so it's about that thick, so it's about 2 inches thick. About maybe if you want to make bigger scones, they can be a little bit bigger. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to push our glass into it, and it squidges a little bit, and that is our beautiful cheese scone. We're going to put it onto our baking tray, squidge out another one. It makes a really brilliant sound. So, now if you've got little kids, it does make a real farting sound, so they can have some quite good fun making silly noises. So there's another one. Okay. Now I'm not particularly worried about the shape and size of them, but these are all coming out quite uniform, which is quite good. So a bit more of a splodge down with your mixture. Okay. And you can make about 8 out of this recipe. Okay. Push it together again. Now, by using butter as opposed to margarine, it does mean it's a little bit firmer, the mixture. So there's another little one. Oh, that's not very good. I'll put that one back in. Okay, so push them back together again. Squidge in the middle. There's another one. Okay, now these are cheesy scones, so it's a slightly different recipe if you want to make fruit scones, but we'll do that recipe another time. Now this last one, I'm not going to put it, I'm just going to push it together. Okay. And there we go, there are our beautiful cheesy scones. We're then going to put them in the oven, and they're going to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's a really quick recipe, really good one to do with the kids. It makes loads of mess, which is fantastic. We then put it in the oven. So this oven has already been preheated. Okay. And these are ones which I made about 20 minutes earlier. So this is what they come out like. Okay. And if you want to make them much bigger, obviously, make the dough thicker. My hands are completely covered. But then when you break them open, these are quite warm. You've got cheese and a little bit of cayenne pepper inside. I really like scones. You can put a bit of butter on these if you want. I'm not going to give any to my cat. And these are really good to have at lunch. I think that had all the cayenne pepper, that bit. These are really, really tasty. And I have fun baking. And we're going to make some fruit scones in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, and keep sending in your comments and any photos that you've been doing. They're much appreciated. Okay, brilliant. Thank you.